The wage gap, or the difference in pay received by men and women, is an issue that has been prevalent since women became prominent fixtures in the workforce. Even in 2011, in a time where rights seemed to be evenly distributed between the sexes, women who were working in the United States were making 77% of what men were making at the same jobs. But why is there a wage gap, and does it truly affect all careers in the United States? To explore this topic, our group researched professional athletes of both genders to determine if a wage gap existed between the two. Sociological imagination will be used to look for the different and the familiar. In this case, that will be finding if wage is something that is different purely based on gender of a player. Through this, we will look at different sociological concepts such as socialization and the conflict paradigm. Socialization is one of the main reasons that the wage gap continues to exist. Because of the way our society has helped to mold our norms, habits, and behaviors, we are socialized to think that some things are normal. When things go against these norms, we often act out against them, such as women receiving more pay than men, or men staying at home while the women work. There is also the sociological norm of male dominance that is carried over into the workforce as well. The issue of conflict paradigm also plays a role in the wage gap. The conflict paradigm draws attention to the struggle between different groups that explains the issue in society. In this case, the differences in gender. The constant struggle between the two genders could have a role to play in the differences in the pay of women and men in various jobs, including professional sports.
The wage gap is very apparent between males and females when it comes to professional basketball in the United States. There are two separate professional leagues, the NBA for men and the WNBA for women. The players in the NBA make a substantial amount more than the women in the WNBA do. Listen to these statistics. Individual player salaries in each league differ drastically. The minimum salary a player can make in the WNBA is $35,000 a year. In the NBA, minimum wage is over $470,000. The highest individual annual salary in the WNBA is currently totaled at $101,000. In the NBA, the highest annual individual salary is over $27 million. Let's take a closer look at some specific examples. As one of the largest cities in the country, Los Angeles is one of the biggest markets and fan bases. There are 3 teams in the city of Los Angeles, 2 NBA teams and a WNBA team. Lisa Leslie, a former Los Angeles Spark in the WNBA, is arguably the greatest WNBA player of all time. Her highest annual salary maxed out at about $91,000, and with endorsements, her net worth is reportedly around $6 million. Now let's look at her counterpart, Kobe Bryant, superstar guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. Bryant's annual salary is $27,849,000. His net worth with endorsements is a little over $200 million. And this is after a divorce settlement without a prenuptial agreement that cost him about $150 million. Each of these players is one of the all-time greats in their respective leagues, yet there's a drastic variation in their salaries. This difference reinforces the concept of the wage gap, because men and women in similar work environments are paid very differently.
Although not as widely celebrated in the United States as it is in Europe and South America, soccer is a fast-rising sport across the country. Its increasing popularity led to the establishment of Major League Soccer for men and, until its final season in 2011, women's professional soccer. Both teams have the same number of people who play games for the same length of time, and the rules of the game are the same for both genders. You would assume that both genders would receive the same pay for playing. However, this is incorrect. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania has both a professional women's team and a professional men's team, the Philadelphia Independence and Philadelphia Union respectively. Because they are both within the same city, taking into account cost of living and other such variables that could affect salary, the men are paid much more than their female counterparts. The average women's professional soccer player in 2010 was awarded $27,000 for a season. Joanna Lohman, who plays for the Philadelphia Independence, earns $25,000 a year. On the other hand, Freddie Adu, a player for the Philadelphia Union, receives $400,000 a season for playing the same position as Joanna Lohman. Even the lowest paid men on the team, such as Greg Jordan, receive more than the women, with Jordan earning $44,000 a season. Even when playing at an international level, the women do not receive as high a pay as the men do. In 2003, the United States women's soccer team won 3rd place in the World Cup, and each team member was awarded $25,000. Had they won 1st place, they would have each received $58,000. In 2002, the United States men's soccer team made it to the quarterfinals in the World Cup, and each team member received $200,000.
Until more recent times, there have been very prevalent gender roles. Males were viewed as strong and athletic, while women were viewed as dainty and weaker. This internalization or socialized view still exists today. This conflict is a large part of the reason why women earn dramatically less money than men do in professional sports.